Hi, it's Jenny. So instead of doing the Project Pan vlog, I'm gonna try to do one podcast and then one sit down Project Pan video. So anyway, it's the 14th, so I figured I would post it like around the middle of the month. So yeah, I'm just gonna talk about some of the Reddit posts, some of like the makeup drama I've heard, and then also like how I'm doing with my low buy and just kind of whatever I want to talk about makeup related. So I honestly haven't really been on Reddit in a while, so I haven't seen these posts in a while since I saved them a while ago. So the first one is a really big block, and there's no name to this. It says deleted, and it was posted on Makeup Rehab 5 years ago. TLDR, use shopping to ignore emotions. Feels like I've missed out on a lot because I spent the time window shopping instead. I've touched on this topic a little bit before, but yesterday it became so much more prominent for me. I haven't bought anything so far with my no-buy/low buy makeup or beauty related. Roasting makeup really helps me when I think something is super cute or interesting because I realize it's not a perfect item. But mainly found yesterday that I was window shopping online and realized that getting a website blocker was one of the best things I've done. I used to sit and scroll and pick out everything mentioned in YT videos and add it to my theoretical cart where I'd have about $800 of stuff and I daydream about the day I'd get it. Now that I am not able to shop freely on those websites, I was bored and of course went to YouTube to spend my time instead. Think I might block that website too because I keep using it the same way I use shopping for makeup and clothing. I used to ignore the feelings I was having. I broke down yesterday night to my boyfriend because we both noticed an increase in my irritability the past few months and more of me moping around and not feeling great overall. It's just been me trying to avoid feeling anything because I'm scared of being depressed again. Every time I would look at something and add it to my cart, give me a little bit of dopamine, and I really was holding on to that, and it became a hobby almost. I had too much free time on my hands with winter break from school, and I realized that I was losing myself to being completely and utterly stuck. Today, I took up my violin after almost 4 years. The hairs on the bow were pretty much gone, but I turned it up and tried to learn again. I was pretty terrible, but there was one song I knew by heart that was okay. It brought me joy to try and learn it though. I needed to find things to do outside of just buying things because I will feel sad and lonely and miserable and stuck after buying things and opening them anyways. That solution was just temporary and momentarily. Maybe that happiness lasted an hour. The joy I feel from picking up my violin has lasted all day. I did yoga with my boyfriend for the first time in a long time. His first time with yoga, and it was relaxing. I feel like I've been missing out on so much because of how glued to the screen I was window shopping all the time. Even during when I was stressed, I bought a Fenty lipstick because of a YouTube recommendation. It only came in bright colors I never wear, but I bought that bright red anyways because it made me feel better that knowing I was going to struggle through a quiz the next day. I wish I had been more attentive. It's a work in progress and it's been hard to work and I'm scared to go back to school, but I'm hoping being back in that environment will help me because I enjoy it there. Okay, so that was the post. Yeah, okay, so let me talk about what's been going on with me lately. Okay, so as I mentioned in the last podcast, I wasn't watching YouTube for 40 days, plus some weeks beforehand, and it's been 2 weeks now that my ban has lifted or whatever, and I feel like the first week I binge watched so fucking much YouTube / listen to. Sometimes I would use it as a podcast. This week I've been doing a little bit better. On Monday I deep cleaned and instead of actually listening to makeup stuff, I ended up listening to music and it was kind of a nice change of pace to be honest. Which I mean, I love listening to girls talk about makeup, but I don't know, it was kind of nice just to like, clean with music. I don't know, I should do that more often. I don't remember what happened. Oh yeah, I practiced guitar on Monday. Like I haven't practiced in forever. Like I feel like I've just been going to choir just whatever and like not really practicing beforehand. And I want to make it a goal to like post a cover of this one pop song, right? And I don't know. I'm like maybe I should just, it's fine if I look at the iPad and just post it, whatever. But I want it to be a little bit nicer with, the microphones and all that, and my husband doing the actual, like, electric guitar or, like, the solos and all that. Anyway, so I did that on Monday. And today's Tuesday. Oh, I guess it's only been Tuesday. It's only been 2 days of the week. And then today I went to the office to work. So I did watch YouTube just before recording this video. After getting home from work. But I don't know. I guess it feels like a little bit better. I think the weekend I kind of tried to kind of slow the fuck down because over last week was like a lot. So I just need to like not get back into that. And then the other thing that I've noticed is that a lot of the times when I'm like window shopping or like trying to decide if I should buy something or I should not buy something, it kind of like takes over my brain or whatever. And now I've had to take other decisions lately and I'm like weighing if yes or no, which it's also kind of annoying as fuck too, right? But anyway, one of the big decisions that I needed to make was that I am going to travel to Mexico next month, and I was trying to figure out if I should do it or if I should not, because technically I'm still in school, but it was supposed to be the midterm review, and it's kind of easier for me to just try to make the class online instead of doing the whole computer program thing, so I don't have to bring my big ass laptop, for the online class. So, and I'm also trying to catch up on the music homework so that I finish the class early because it's asynchronous. So it's basically just like a workbook that you work through, and it has some like hearing training, ear training, and just a workbook, right? Point is that was a big decision that I was like debating over that shit. And also there was like a whole mix up of the tickets, which I feel so annoyed and so dumb. But so I couldn't travel the same day as my mom because it was really fucking expensive. Like compared to $500 one way, it was $150. So I did the $150 obviously. But I just didn't want to burden my family like picking me up and all that shit, but whatever. At some point, like I tried moving it and ended up moving it a different day instead because the whole 1 a.m. thing confused me because, usually when you think about 1 a.m. you still think it's like the same day. But no, it's not. It's like the next day. That probably didn't make sense. But point is that I was kind of frazzle-dazzled about that situation that I just wasn't even thinking about makeup and all that shit. So there's that. But the other thing is that now that I am going to Mexico, I'm like trying to think about what to get my like presents for my extended family, and some of it has been beauty related. But then I'm like trying to think about what to bring and what I don't know. So I'm trying to figure that out. I was leaning towards the Teddy Maybelline liquid lipsticks that Julie talks about. Jules Caboodle, I think is what it is, yeah. I'm like, I feel like some of my aunts would like those. But then my mom actually had an idea of some little like personal fans. Like it's like a neck fan, whatever. Point is that that's been more on my mind versus the makeup. And then the other thing is that I have a plan of what I'm going to do with makeup purchases. So I told myself that I could buy a batch of makeup in July because I am planning on getting the Ulta birthday thing, which I already selected what I'm going to get. I'm going to get the little perfume because it's guava, and my husband really likes guava, so I'm like, oh, maybe he'll like it on me. But also I'm weird about perfume, but if I don't like it, I can always see if my mom would like it because she's a perfume person and I need to sneeze. I just sneezed a bunch and I lost my train of thought. Oh my god, I was just thinking my allergies were so good today and that the pill was really fucking working. The point is that my plan was to buy a batch in July, and that before the July whatever, I could get the tinted lip balm that I've been wanting for forever. After I finished one other tinted lip balm, but I don't know if that's gonna happen before July. I feel like I'm finally dwindling down my skincare, so I'm pretty happy about that. I'm also really glad that my skin is doing a lot better. I mean, I don't want to fucking jinx it, right? But TMI, but I'm on my period and my acne isn't even that bad. Again, don't want to jinx it. So I'm kind of like, okay, maybe I'll just like stick to the stuff I'm using right now. For some reason, like my neck's been breaking out, which is fucking weird, like right below my jaw, which also probably hormonal, but I'm like, my face has been better. Anyway, so that's cool. Makes me want to buy less skincare, makes me want to research less skincare stuff. But yeah, I think I have been like more obsessed over watching videos versus like my Project Pan stuff in general. But again, this week has been better about watching wise and stuff, which again is barely Tuesday, so maybe that's kind of like a bad thing to gauge. But yeah, I think like I'm kind of good. I think maybe I should just stop searching shit and just keep to my subscription box, or maybe just have like one day when I can binge. This weekend I'm gonna be camping too, so probably won't be on my phone. I don't really go on my phone when I'm with people, so there's that. I don't know, especially don't like watching videos in front of people. I don't know why, but I guess I was a little bit nervous about not wearing makeup out and about, even though it's camping or whatever. But I'm going with 2 girlfriends that have like really nice skin, but luckily again my skin's been doing well, so maybe I won't feel that self-conscious without foundation. But even like my eyes, somehow I feel like I need either mascara or liquid liner. But anyway, I probably won't bring anything. Maybe I'll feel more embarrassed to wear makeup. It's gonna be our couple friends. It's gonna be 6 of us plus a baby. She seems like a chill baby, so it should be fine. I talked way more about my shit than the actual post. Point is that I can relate to the window shopping spirals and like using it to like not think about shit, but also like, oh, I've been like making decisions about other random shit that this isn't on my radar. Which also, when I was like trying to figure out the lip glosses, not the lip glosses, actually was thinking about getting my cousin some lip glosses. But anyway, when I was comparing like Ulta and Walmart, I kind of hate when stores do the thing where it's like, oh, it's on sale, when like it really is not. Like, for example, on Ulta, the Maybelline thing was like listed for $13 and it was on sale for $10, but then at Walmart it was like $10 regular forever type of thing. So it's kind of like, bruh, are you actually on sale? Same with Amazon. Sometimes like they'll say like, oh, this was like $20 off, when it really is not. Sometimes I do put stuff on my wish list and like I do know like, oh yeah, that went down or whatever, but a lot of the times like they're just fucking lying. So I don't know, maybe don't fall for don't fall for those. But yeah, I was like kind of like rolling my eyes at this post, but I guess I forgot that like it got deleted. The title has climate change in relation to makeup products. Seemed like their main thing they were talking about was chemicals chemicals in makeup. I don't know, like it kind of like bothers me when people talk about like the Yuka app and all that stuff, and like try to say that stuff is bad chemicals and all that stuff in your makeup and stuff, and like the whole clean thing, like what is actually clean makeup. Anyway, the same argument that people always say, like even water is a chemical, everything's a chemical. I know that like eventually maybe something can come out as like actually toxic eventually, and if you don't want to wear makeup because you're scared of that, then don't wear makeup, whatever. But I don't know, I guess this is kind of a weird post. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about was Leaked Labs. So I first heard about this brand on a podcast it's on Spotify, it's called Breaking Beauty Podcast. And these ladies honestly don't really talk a lot of shit, to be honest. I think I was mainly listening to the podcasts that were labeled like damn good or whatever. They probably didn't have much bad things to say or whatever. But anyway, I was surprised when one of the ladies said something bad about this brand. If you don't know, it's a company started by some YouTubers. They're called Lipstick Lesbians. And I guess the premise was that they were going to come out with a product, and then you would buy it, and then you would test it out, and then you would give them feedback about what you thought about the product. So then they kind of were describing the thing, because it was a podcast, I couldn't watch it. But they were saying that it was like a flexi powder, which I assumed it was like a face powder. But the more they kept talking, I was like, oh. Or I think I Googled it, and I think I just saw like the AI summary or whatever. But it's basically like a little thin disc of eyeshadow that's flexible. And I guess you're supposed to like either wipe it on your face or use a brush like a normal eyeshadow, but it's like a very thin slab. One of the ladies was like, oh, why didn't they just make it like a membership thing where you could get like, you know, X amount of products for the membership instead of charging, you know, I think it was like $37 or $40 for the thing. And I was like, yeah, that's pretty smart. Like you can just like pay a membership of like $50 and get like multiple items. After Lent, or I don't know if I kind of read further into it or whatever, I found out that it's actually not even like a completely done product. So it was basically like a little tin with like 3 slabs of, or 4, I don't know, of eyeshadow, and they're just like floating in the little pan. So it's not even like the ending of the product or whatever. I guess I kind of understand the premise of the Leak Labs thing, that you're kind of like working toward the end product, but it's also kind of weird that it's not an end product. So I watched 2 other videos, one from Jen Loves and then one from, I think her name's Alexandra. Maybe I'm confusing her with somebody else. But anyway, Jen Loves was mostly kind of like reporting on it, and then Alexandra was testing it. The other thing is that they sent influencers a couple of extra things, while like the other people that bought it regularly did not get the extra things, like a spray bottle and like a little plate to put them on, like those like mixing makeup artist type of plate. Kind of messed up, to be honest. She also kind of broke it down like by gram, and compared to like Pat McGrath, which is a very expensive eyeshadow brand, and it was like a lot more expensive. I guess it was kind of a shit show. I think I totally agree with the podcast person in that a membership would have been a lot better, but then also, if anything, maybe like it should be the other way around. Like they should have hired people in their audience to like help them out. I don't know. Or at least like maybe not even pay them, but like at least give them out for free, or like maybe like have like a Patreon situation where like if you were a Patreon member, like you would get these shipped to you because you bought the Patreon. I don't know, something like that. Another thing that people are upset about is that basically they're kind of asking the customers to like, for marketing advice in a way, or like not marketing advice, but like the market research of this product, which is kind of weird, especially because it was kind of expensive. And like I said in my previous podcast, I don't buy anything over $30, to be honest. Or I guess I rarely do. I guess like the membership I think would have been kind of the way to go, unless it was like a fully developed product, or maybe even, you know, get the like, you know, 10 audience members that get to try it for free, or, you know, the Patreon thing, and then I don't know, and then have them like named after like the people that helped. I don't know, but like it was kind of weird. I think I've only watched a couple of their shorts here and there. I'm not subscribed to them. Like I said, I don't really follow that many influencers. I'm gonna stop it right there. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.